Hey everyone, welcome back to Getaway Crochet. So today I thought we would relax on this chilly Thursday afternoon here in North Dakota. We are actually under a winter weather advisory. Go figure, it's North Dakota in January. Typical. So anyway, I thought I'd take some time to relax this afternoon and do some crochet. I'm going to work on granny squares. You can certainly work on granny squares with me if you'd like, or whatever helps you relax the most. Whatever project I can do granny squares and not really have to think about what I'm doing, so that way I can just relax and just not really and just kind of do it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to count. I don't have to do anything. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So what I'm gonna be crocheting with is I love this yarn, and it's called Amber Honey. There we go. And I'm going to make squares out of this one specifically today. And then at another time, probably in a different part, I'll probably do sections. This will be part one, and then I'll do more sections. I'm going to be doing granny squares of this color, which is, it's also, I love this yarn brand, and it's called Deep Sea Diving. So those are going to be my two main colors for my squares, and then I'm going to border it in like a sun gold yellow, which I think will look really nice. So to get started, I got, most important, a relaxing warm drink. If I'm going to drink coffee, I usually do decaf, just because my body doesn't do well with caffeine anymore. I have a severe anxiety disorder, so the less caffeine I have, the better. So everything is decaf, including my tea. Some teas I don't like. If I'm gonna drink a tea that has caffeine, that's fine, but it can't be super super high in caffeine. I just have to watch that. Energy drinks are way out of the question, so we don't even go there. But today I have oolong tea, and I got my yarn. Well, what's left of it anyway. I've been working on a few squares today already. I have 5 squares done. I'll show you what they look like. Each of them is a little bit different, which I love. I love how this pattern this yarn works out when I'm doing squares like this. With the baby blankets, it's turned out really good, and with the adult one, I'm hoping it's going to turn out, and so far it is. It looks wonderful. Each square is just a tad different. And they all look so pretty. I made a couple this morning before I went to work, so I got my square stack, I got my yarn, I got my hook. This is a 5.5 millimeter. You can use whatever hook size you want. I just chose this one. I think it's a good size for the blanket I'm trying to do. You need a yarn needle and a scissor. And then I got my bowl for my scrap pieces that I snip off when I'm weaving in ends and whatnot. So that way they're not laying all over and they don't get drug around the house, which if they're not in a bowl, that usually happens. So let's begin. And I hope you guys just do something that helps you relax today, whatever it is. If you like to drink cold beverage, if you want a hot beverage, if you want to watch TV while you crochet, if that's what you want to do, and all power to you, go for it. I like to watch a lot of shows when I'm crocheting, especially if I'm not really focusing on, if I don't have to focus on what I'm doing. So yeah, and I thought that while we crochet, we'd chat a little bit about relaxation techniques and things that we all do to relax. So what I'm going to do to start with, I'm not going to do a step-by-step tutorial today, but I am going to kind of talk you through what I'm doing while making my square, at least during the first one. So I started with a slip knot, and then I'm going to start with a chain circle. Not everybody does it this way, I just like to. So you can make a granny square however you like. And like I said, I will be doing a tutorial at a later time, just not today. So, alright, so I'm going to chain 4. 1, well maybe, there we go, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to take my hook and slip it into the very first chain I created, and I'm going to slip stitch through. and that's going to create our loop. If you can see that. I'm sorry, my big finger's in the way. Kind of, sort of. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to create the first double crochet in the double crochet cluster in the granny square. So I'm going to chain 3. And I need two more double crochets, so I'm going to chain that one counts as the first one. The chain 3 counts as the first. Then I'm going to chain 2 or double crochet 2 more into the circle. So now we have our first cluster. But the first row of the granny square is essentially just creating your corners that you're going to need. So I need to create my first corner. I'm going to chain 2. Then I'm going to do 3 more double crochets into the circle. Now I got my first corner. If you can kind of see that. I apologize. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to create another corner because I need 4 corners. So that was 1. Now I need to create 2. So we're going to chain 2 again and double crochet 3 double crochets into the circle. Now I have 2. As you can kind of see, I apologize again, guys. I'm sorry, the yarn and my skin kind of blends in together. But like I said, I'll do a tutorial on a darker surface with the lighter yarn, so when I'm doing my granny square tutorial, you can see it a lot better than just holding it up in front of the camera. So, anyway, back to it. I'm going to chain 2 more because I have to make my third corner, and then I'm going to double crochet 3 times into the circle. Alright, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3 double crochet, which is what I need. Now I have 1, 2, 3 corners with 3 chain 2 spaces. Now I need to make 1 more. I don't have to add any more double crochets because I got all the double crochets I need for my row. So I'm going to chain 2 more. And slip stitch into the top of the very first double crochet. Alright, so now I should have something that, or you should have something that looks like this. I should and you should, if you're following along. So I got my 4 corners there, and now what I want to do is work a cluster of the 3 double. I'm just going to call the 3 double crochets a cluster. I need to work a cluster in that first corner that we created. In order to get there, I'm going to slip stitch across the next 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Now I'm going to create 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space. And chain 2 to make a corner and do 3 more double crochets. Alright, so now we got our first corner of our second row. So now it's going to be a little itsy bitsy bit different if you want it to. So by this time, when you're going to be creating the pattern, so most people add a chain in between the groups of double crochets between the corners. Because as your rows are gonna get bigger, so you're gonna have more chain 2 spaces, and they're not all gonna be corners. So most people, in order to make a bigger chain 2 space, they'll add a chain in between. I don't like to do that, just because I like a tighter granny square. Now you certainly can do that. A lot of people do it. They like that, and that's totally fine. However you like to do it. I just like them tighter, so I'm not going to add a chain at this time. I'm going to double crochet 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space without adding a chain 1 in between. And then I'm going to create another corner. So I'm going to chain 2 and double crochet 3 times into the space. So now I have 2 corners of my second row. I'm going to do the same thing. We're just going to I'm not going to add any chains at this point because now would be the time to do it if you wanted to. I'm just going to double crochet into the next chain 2 space 3 times. All right, and create a corner, so chain 2 and double crochet 3 times into the same space. So that would be 3 corners of my granny square that I have. And now I'm going to yarn over and double crochet into the next chain 2 space without adding a chain in between. And then create the last corner, chain 2, and add 3 more double crochets. And then to connect my clusters, I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. And now I have a second row completed on my granny square. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that same pattern that we just did on the second row until I've reached my desired square size. And for my squares, I am doing 6 rows with the color that I'm working, and then my border will be the 7th. I don't want them huge, but I don't want them small. So I'm just going to keep going here. I'm going to slip stitch across into the chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and now on the third row you're going to see that there's a space in between the 2 corner areas. And again, now you could add a chain 1 before you add 3 more double crochets into the next chain 2 space, but like I said before, I'm not going to because I want them tight. So I'm just going to double crochet 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And again, here you would add another chain between this cluster and the next one in the next chain 2 space, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to chain 3 into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, create my next corner, and 3 double crochets. And again, if you were adding chains, now would be a time to do it. I'm not going to, so we're going to just go right into the next chain 2 space and 3 double crochets. And again, if you're adding a chain, do that now. If not, just double crochet into the next chain 2 space 3 times. Ooh, my yarn just took a dive. And chain 2 to make the next corner, and 3 double crochets. Okay, so now I have 3 corners. So again, this is where you would add a chain if you're going to. Otherwise, 3 double crochets. Oh my. Seem to have a little bit of a knot, and there we go. 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space for me. And again into the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets. And now we're creating our last corner. So chain 2 and 3 double crochets. And then I'm going to do 3 double crochets into the last chain 2 space. And slip stitch to the very top of the first double crochet in which we started. And now I have completed row 3. To go to row 4, I'm going to slip stitch across the next 2 double crochets and start another row. So 3 double crochets, oh dear, my yarn is taking on a life of its own. It wants to unravel, but it doesn't, so we're doing just random things apparently. All right. So I've created a corner by chaining 2 and 3 more double crochets to create the first corner of row 4. Yeah, row 4. I get going pretty good sometimes and I forget to count my rows, which is okay if you're making big squares. At the end of every row, I like to make sure that I count my rows so I know which row I'm on. I remember one time I was just watching TV, zoning out and making granny squares, and I had a set number of rows, but I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I was really into my show, and I like made 15 rows in a 10-row granny square. It was funny. So anyway, I'm just gonna double crochet 3 times into the next chain space, and again. And into the chain 2 space that we're going to use to make a corner. So to make the corner, we're going to chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. And then we're going to 3 more double crochets in the next chain 2 space. And again, into the next chain 2 space. And into the next chain 2 space, which is going to be our corner. And chain 2 and 3 double crochets. All right, and to the next chain 2 space. And again into the next chain 2 space. And into the chain 2 space that's going to be our corner. Create my corner, so chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. I've been crocheting granny squares for a long time. I've probably been making granny squares for a solid, not a lot, not as long as I've been crocheting by any means, because they were one of the easiest things to learn. But of course, I never could figure out the easy stuff right away. I had to do the hard stuff first and then the easy stuff later. So I didn't do any of the granny squares until 2016. That's when I just started doing granny squares, and I've gotten really into a kick with them lately. So I'm making granny square blankets, and I keep seeing all these colors that would look perfect together in a granny square, so I'm like buying all these colors, and I have all these plans, and I can never just start one blanket at a time, so I have like 3 or 4 blankets going at the same time because I just need to see all the colors together. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on I'm bordering a baby blanket, which I will show you during the next part of this this video. It's a baby blanket in blues, and it turned out actually a lot better than I thought it was going to. I knew it was going to look good, but it really turned out, for me, way better than I thought. So I'll show you guys that one at the beginning of our next video. And then I also have this other one that I am starting currently today. Excuse me, just need a sip of my tea there. I'll show you the colors. Okay, so my pillow fell over. Made myself a back pillow. This chair, my office chair, is not the most comfortable to sit in when I'm crocheting, because I don't have a whole lot of lumbar support, and I do have issues with my back. So I brought one of the couch pillows I made for upstairs down here so I can sit comfortably for a longer period of time. My go-to crochet area is on a reclining couch. Or the kitchen table if I'm working on crocheting squares together, or I need a bigger space to spread out. I'll crochet at the kitchen table. But right now it's mostly the couch. So anyway, the next blanket I'm starting, I got this color last year. Of course, it's I Love This Yarn. And it is Cinnamon Cedar. Those colors, as you can see, are just beautiful. Look at that mix of color. I had actually created a granny square scarf for the fall last year out of this type of yarn. And I bordered it with a dark brown, which looks really good. If I can find it before our next video and it's not like really highly buried anywhere, I have it stored away for craft shows, so I have to see if I can get it, I can easily access it. But if I can, I'll show you what I made. But this time I'm going to make granny square blankets, so I'm going to border these in this burgundy. Also, I love this yarn called aubergine. I don't know. Interpret that as you will. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but I call it burgundy because it's easier to pronounce. So it's just going to be a beautiful burgundy. And then the secondary color I'm going to use, I'm going to have squares with this color here. And then, let's see if I can get one here. Also I love this yarn. It's called Mid Green. And the green is hard to see the real shade of it, but it's so pretty, but it matches this so well. I don't know if you can see the lighting in here isn't the best for the green to really show that off, but I thought they looked wonderful together, so I'm going to make squares out of those two colors and border it with the burgundy. So that is, I just couldn't wait to do them. So, of course, I can never just do one project at a time. I don't know how many of you guys have that problem, but I get so excited about doing so many projects. Like, I see something, I'm like, oh, that'll be perfect for this and this and this. And then I'll get started and I'll put that aside. And then I'll have, like, this going and that going. And it's bad. Too many works in progress. Okay, I'm just going to put these down here for now, because I don't want to get back up and put them on the shelf. So anyway, yeah, these are my two granny square blankets that I got going right now. And I'm not exactly sure how many squares I'm going to need for the blanket as of yet. Let's see, for the baby blankets, I needed 50. 25 of each. So now these are about the size of 3 of the little ones, I think. When it's all done, it's about this, like, if 3 or 4 of the little squares that I make. So I'm gonna start with 25 of each, and if I need to make more, I'll make more. But that's gonna be my baseline, is 25 of each color. We're almost done here with row 4. Just 3 more double crochets, and then slip stitch into the first chain of the next one. I'm going to start row 5, so slip stitch crossed, 3 double crochets, chain 2 for corner, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, yep, 5, okay. Then 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And again, to the next chain 2 space, and again. And 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space in the corner. Create my corner, so chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. Another thing that I'll probably end up doing, while I just kind of chat with you guys at another time, is making a corner-to-corner blanket. If you guys want to see a tutorial on that, I certainly can do that as well. I'll do just a little sample. But I love corner-to-corner. I literally just tried it last year for the first time. Super easy. If you can do double crochet, you can make a corner-to-corner blanket, because that's all it is. Oh, that's good tea. I don't think I have any accessible right now, but I will show you at a different time though. But I think what I want to do, I've seen on Pinterest, I saw a scrap gan corner to corner, and it looks so beautiful. And as you can tell, I have quite a collection, if you will, of scraps. So that needs to be taken care of very soon because I have more scraps that I have nowhere to put, and I don't want it to overtake my house like the yarn is already. So I want to start that too, and I'm trying to do one thing at a time because I can't have like 300 projects going, but I want to. Oh, I just want to. Oh, now my wheels that turn in here. Oh. And then every time I look over here, I see the purples, and I know I have a lot of purples in my closet. And I'm thinking, oh, I could do purples granny square. Oh, that would be cool. Maybe border it in gray. Oh, and then I want to start that project. And then I think of my C2C blanket, or I think of using these Karen cakes. These are cotton. To make something like a light spring scarf, because spring craft shows are coming up, and I need to start figuring out things for spring. So I got some of these, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna. If you guys have ideas on what to make with this stuff, please let me know. But I was thinking about maybe a mesh stitch scarf to see how that worked out. Acrylic does not work out really well to do that stitch. It was just gonna be like a single infinity scarf, single row. It did not look good. So I didn't like how it laid. Didn't lay flat. It laid sitting up. So I ripped it back, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yarn because it's discontinued now and I only have one skein of it, so whatever. But yeah, I want to get started on these because I know I'm going to have a craft show in April. I don't know if I'm going to do one in March yet. I guess it's kind of going to depend. And then I have, also in the back of my mind, I have doily projects going on too. So there's so many things happening in my brain that I want to do all at the same time, and I get overwhelmed when I try, and it's just not good. So I'm gonna attempt to just stick with granny squares right now, because that way I can use up my yarn really fast. The yarn that's been sitting here for many a days. And then I have plans where I want to get that taken care of and out of the way so that I can go buy more. All right, back to our square. Now, when I usually, when I'm gonna crochet granny squares, or like if I'm gonna, right now I'm not doing anything where, if I'm gonna do a project, like a blanket project or something, I'm gonna do something where I don't have to count and think a whole lot. So I'm gonna be watching, my go-to show to relax and watch is Hoarders. Hoarding Buried Alive and Hoarders. I own every season, every season of each series. And they're still coming out with more Hoarders. So I just finished season 14. And I've rewatched every episode, I don't know how many times, of every season of every Hoarders show. It's awesome. And there's still different shows that you can find on YouTube that have to do with hoarding, if that's a thing that interests you. Being a bit of a yarn hoarder, I don't know where that came from, I do like to watch Hoarders. I like to see people's progress. I like the whole cleaning. I don't know. I just like watching people clean and organize and stuff like that. Like I said, I do want to do an organization video of my yarn stash. I do have to get some plastic bins so I can organize the stuff up there, because I don't like it just sitting like it is, because when I pull one out, they all come tumbling down, and my husband laughs every single time. And literally last night I wanted to pull one out, and he goes, the whole thing's gonna come down, right? And I'm like, yep. I'm like, and then I told him what I wanted to do, and I'm just having a hard time finding what I want for those storage cubes. I want clear plastic ones. I have a wire shelf on the bottom. I don't want to use the heavy wood ones, because then the shelf will bow. It'll get really heavy, and I don't want that. But if you guys have any ideas for plastic storage cubes that you can stack and put yarn in, please leave information in the comments, because I would like some things to look at. I would like to look up some stuff online as to what would be a good closet storage thought. So please let me know what you guys have used in the comments, what works, what you're interested in, what doesn't work, what you think would work good for my closet. I'm all for options because I really need to organize it. It's really starting to bother me. Part of me wants to get it done this weekend, but I just don't know. I just want to get it done, but at the same time, I don't have the stuff that I need to organize it yet. So, yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would like me to do and have you have me do it while you guys are watching, or like make it a video, or if you want me to just kind of do it off camera and then show you the done thing. It's going to be a process. Usually before, when I've organized it, it's taken like 3 hours. So that's that. And it's going to be one of those things where I send the dogs to my parents' house because they will have a fit outside. It's too cold for them to be outside for most of the day now. And I will definitely need the space. They both like to lay in the office when I'm working, and they are very inquisitive, so they like to dig in my stash. If I take it all out and set it on the floor, I'm going to definitely need the floor room for one, and I won't have them digging in it for two if they're over there. So that's the idea, is send them to my parents for the day so I can organize my yarn stash. But like I said, I want to get that done fairly soon here, because it's really starting to bother me. Alright, I'm just starting row 6. So here's what it looks like so far. And here's how you would count your rows. So here's the first one where you started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 rows. Yeah, so any organizational tips you guys can give me that have worked for you, that'd be great. I love to organize. I actually used to do cleaning and organization as a job when I was in my early 20s. So I didn't like the cleaning so much. That was hard on my back. But the organization, I love to do that. I actually did organize this lady's whole basement. It kind of looked like something on a hoarder. She wasn't like a hoarder. She just had all this stuff and didn't know what to do with it. And so I said, "Hey, do you want me to organize it for you?" And she goes, "Yeah." And so in an afternoon, I organized and cleaned up her whole basement without throwing anything away. I didn't throw anything away. I just organized it for her, and she was just so beside herself. She just could not believe that I did that it could look like that. It was wonderful. I just love that kind of stuff. I love organizing. However, I like organizing for other people. I don't like organizing for myself necessarily. Due to every space that I have, it's generally a disaster. My desk is pretty much a catch-all. The living room is a catch-all. The kitchen table that I work at is a catch-all. Anywhere I go, stuff follows. My husband, on the other hand, super clean guy. He's a neat freak. Nope, he married a non-neat freak. When I was growing up, my room was just always a disaster. And my mom, super neat freak. She ran a home daycare, so everything had to be clean. But I was like, it's my room. I don't know why I have to clean my room. The daycare kids aren't going in my room. Nobody's gonna see it. I don't know why it has to be like super clean like everything else. So I just kind of was rebellious and didn't do that. I remember specifically my mom, I wasn't allowed to do my own laundry for the longest time because she was just like, I'll just do it. We're doing laundry anyway. Even though I wanted to do it and be a grown up. Just wait until people get there and then they don't want to do it anymore. But anyway. So anyway, she would do laundry and she'd bring it in, and I always had like a chair, or like my bed would be where she would put my laundry, either the chair or the bed. I'd move it from the bed. Instead of putting it away, I'd move it to different spots in the room, and then whenever I needed to go to that spot, I'd just move it again. And then pretty soon I just put it on, and then it'd go from the floor to me to the hamper again. And then she'd, again, do my laundry and bring it in all folded and whatnot. and I just move it to the floor or the chair or the bed, wherever I didn't need to be at the moment. Yep, it was a good time. But today's topic, relaxation stuff. What do you guys do to relax? Is crocheting your relaxing time? Do you read a book to relax? Do you play a game to relax? Do you listen to music? Another thing what I like to do when I'm crocheting, like if I'm gonna be it's gonna be a long afternoon of crochet, like today, what I'll do is I'll probably put on like a nature sound on YouTube. So like I like to listen to like rivers and stuff. So I'll just Google or like not Google, I'll YouTube some river sounds, and I'll just have that on in the background while I'm crocheting. Um, or a lot of people like thunderstorms. That's relaxing to them. A lot of people actually use thunderstorms to help them sleep, or rain to help them sleep. Um, so there's that too. But I think it's great relaxation. Um, I love listening to just sounds of nature. Not a snowstorm, of course. Those I don't like that kind of sound of nature. Probably because we live through them all the time. Um, we have multiple snowstorms a year in North Dakota, if you didn't know that. Um, so that's probably a sound that I don't want to listen to. Because I get plenty of that, and that usually means that there's going to be a lot of snow blowing and shoveling required, and it's going to be like really, really cold. And yeah. So there's not really positive vibes. And some people that don't live in a climate where there's snow or anything, they might like that. So if you like that, all power to you. I just live in a climate where there's snow, ice, freezing, everything. I like to be positive and happy when I'm relaxing, so that does not do that for me if I'm listening to that. But like tropical island noises do, forest noises, river noises. Those are all very relaxing to me. All right, so I just finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Row 6 here. I'm just gonna slip stitch over one. Snip my yarn. And here is another granny square done. So now I'm going to weave in the ends here. Oh, another nice relaxing thing is like if you don't have, like we have a fireplace, but it needs to be cleaned, so we don't actually use it. I don't know, when we moved into this house a few years ago, they didn't know when the last time the fireplace had been cleaned, so um, until we can get that done, we're not using it for safety reasons. But if you want to, like the sound of a campfire, just YouTube it. Like just YouTube campfire sounds. It's so relaxing. Camping, I mean, I love to relax when I camp. And you could watch the fire and listen to the fire for hours, in my opinion. I haven't gone camping in quite a little while, but my parents have a fire pit in their backyard, and they invite us over quite frequently to sit out there and watch that, and it's so relaxing. I could sit out there all day, except for when it's like 100 degrees, and then I couldn't. But my dad does. He's like, "Oh, it's 85 degrees. Let's go have a fire." I'm like, "Yeah, no, nope." Feel free to comment on what you guys like to do to relax. Everybody's different. I find drinking tea is very relaxing. Some people like to drink alcoholic beverages to relax. Some people like coffee to relax. Coffee does not necessarily relax me, even though it's decaf. If I want to relax, I go get tea. I also, if I want to get like relax from a stressful day, I have this honey lavender stress-free tea that I use, and that really does the trick. Um, let's see, what else do I do? Crochet again. I crochet as much as I can because that's my getaway from the world. It's it's wonderful. It's my relaxation. Um, Starting a new granny square here. Um, what I need to do, because this is a huge one for me, I use essential oils. I find essential oils really help with many things. Um, so what I do is I need to get a diffuser for one because my diffuser broke like I think 2 years ago. And there's an essential oil that I use from doTERRA that really helps me relax. Well, there's quite a few of them that I use, but the one that really it actually calms my dogs down too is called Adaptive. It was new as of I think last year or the year before. I don't remember. But anyway, I diffuse that and it's just like oh, you're so relaxed. You feel light as a feather. Um, and that's what that's it's a calming blend. So I need to get a diffuser. I need to order one online, I think. And start diffusing that again at night because that really does the trick to help me relax. Um, Another essential oil, if you're into that, that helps me relax, is lavender. Lavender is actually really good for sleep. Um, Serenity is another one. I use Serenity. That's besides Adaptive. That's my other go-to calming one is Serenity. Um, so I use essential oils to help me relax as well. Also, I know a lot of people take a hot bath or a hot shower to relax. I do like baths occasionally. I don't like hot showers to relax. I like to relax in the bathtub. So bubble baths, I haven't had one of those in a while. Um, music, music while you're having a bubble bath. I actually have some CDs. Yes, yes, CDs still are a thing. Um, at least in my world, they are. Ironically, a couple years ago, I asked my husband, he asked me what I wanted for our anniversary gift, and I said I'd like a CD player. He had the hardest time finding one. They don't just have CD players like they used to anymore. But he finally found one that's a radio and a CD player. And I just love it. And I use it. I put on relaxing. It's called what is it? Reflection music. It's reflection and it's from waves and piano music in the background. I put that on every night before I go to sleep, and I fall asleep to that. But I also have like a reflection one that's piano, um, just piano music, and I use that at work when I need to relax. Um, but that one's really good for like, I mean, I can find like those kinds of things, those kinds of CDs anyway. Um, I use those when I'm taking a bubble bath. If I want to listen to music, I'll do that. Obviously, you can use your phone, whatever, and YouTube anything, Google anything, Amazon Music, that kind of stuff. Those are huge things for me when I relax. Um, where lighting is another thing. If you're trying to relax, I would say probably mood lighting or like low lights or lamps, like not a huge bright light situation. Because like white lights and like I know a lot of doctors say that you're not supposed to like do stuff with technology or look at screens and lights before you go to sleep because it'll make you not sleep. Which in my case, I have to not do that because I can't relax if I'm staring at a screen. I can't calm down if I'm staring at a screen. I have to be in a dark, quiet, or soothing area room. Um, if I'm upstairs, I will put put a lamp on, which is just small, and I'll just put one lamp on, and everything else will be dark. and that's very relaxing to me. Um, I'll watch a relaxing show or a funny show if I want to. I actually find horror movies relaxing. Don't ask. It's a thing. Um, I have been watching horror movies since I was like 5 years old. Thank you, Dad. Um, oh man, there was not. I still not have found a movie that really scares me. Insidious was pretty close. It was pretty close to freaking me out. It was just borderline. It made me uneasy. I'll just say that. It made me uneasy. I was not scared. I was just uncomfortable and uneasy. Um, but my dad used to watch horror movies all the time, and of course he would let me watch them with him. I'm kind of glad because I love horror movies. My favorite horror movie series, Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. That is my favorite horror movie series. My second, Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th series. I own Halloween 2, Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, H2O, and Resurrection. So all of the original Halloween movies. I own all of the Friday the 13th movies and the Nightmare on Elm Street series as well. Little bit of a horror movie freak. But I like the older horror movies. The new ones, I mean, they're good. It's just there's so much blood and violence in them. I mean, it's not like, I mean, there was blood in the original ones, but it's not as graphic as the ones today. It kind of takes away from the movie for me. I like that scared aspect. I like the jump scares and the quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom, there he is, or whatever the case is. Or it's not the whole I'm gonna like chase you around with an axe and chop your head off violently. That's not my type of horror movie. I like the old school stuff. So anyway, I find horror movies relaxing. What else do I do to relax? Put your feet up. Hot chocolate. My husband finds hot chocolate very relaxing, which I do too. I'm just not the hugest hot chocolate fan. I've never been. But that's also very relaxing. So put on some sweatpants, get a big comfy blanket, go lay in bed or sit on the couch, a recliner, whatever you like to do, with a cup of hot chocolate, and there you go. Have a fireplace sounds going on your tablet or your phone or your TV if you have access to the internet via that. I do not, unfortunately. Actually, I do have access to YouTube, so I could do that. I could put fireplace sounds on my TV. Maybe I'll do that later. Get some tea and oh, that sounds good. Get some comfy clothes on. Ooh, now I'm thinking. Now I know what I'm gonna do once it starts getting dark. Um, yeah, so I think that's what I'll do later. Just put my YouTube on the TV and put a fireplace in the background and crochet and drink something hot. I don't think we have any hot chocolate in the house, so I'll probably drink tea. Maybe some decaffeinated Earl Grey or more oolong tea. We also have a lot of passion. We have passion fruit, pomegranate, green teas. Green tea is pretty high in caffeine though, so unless it's during the day, I generally don't drink green tea. Um, Black tea is generally fairly okay with caffeine. I can drink more black tea than I can green tea. So, and not have it affect me. So that's what I'll probably do. Um, oh, it's already been like almost an hour. That's crazy. What I'll do is I'm going to finish up this square here. And then I'll call it a day. And that'll be the end of part 1. Well, this is going to be a part series, so I'll definitely be back working on more granny squares. And like I said, I am going to do a tutorial. Um, So there's that. Again, feel free to comment. I would love to hear what you guys do to relax. I can always use relaxation is my thing. I love it. I can never get enough of it. Probably because I have that serious anxiety disorder, so I feel like I'm never really relaxed. Um, so give me some ideas of what else I can do to relax. Um, what does everybody do to relax? What's the best relaxation? Um, in your opinion, what's up? Oh, excuse me. What's helped you guys reduce stress in that way? Um, like I said, give me a crochet hook and yarn, and I'm set. Something to sip on while I'm doing it, and see what row are we on here. On row 5. Yeah, relaxation. That's a huge part of my channel, Getaway Crochet. Relaxation and getting away from the chaos of the world is what my channel is all about. And this is the way that I relax. So I wanted to be a source of relaxation for you guys. So you can just turn on something to listen to, or to, if you, I like to specifically like watch and listen to people crochet. I love to listen to them in the background while I'm crocheting if I don't want to watch something. I also like to watch people crochet on YouTube. Um, Let me know what kinds of things you guys like. Do you like tutorials? Do you like watching somebody crochet? Do you like listening to somebody talk while they crochet? Do you like just watching them? What kinds of things do you like? Cuz I am willing to work with different wants and needs of people when it comes to crochet and YouTube. So, or crochet and videos, not just YouTube, but just videos in general. What kinds of things people like? I'm adaptable. So, I did say that I wasn't going to do a lot of tutorials, but I probably will do some. Maybe not, like, I'm not going to base my entire channel off of tutorials because I don't want my channel to be just about tutorials. I want it to be about getting away and crocheting um, and relaxation because we all need to get away from the world. We all need to kind of have our own little personal time. And so if this is what you do to have personal time, perfect. This is what I do to have personal time. I I made it a business as well. So but I don't let it stress me out because the moment that I let the business stress me out, then I'm no longer crocheting for fun. And so I crochet things that I like. I crochet things that people request. Um, I do craft shows. If not, I mean, like, some craft shows aren't that busy. I don't let it get to me because I do them because I enjoy them. I don't do it to get rich because that's not reality. um, I know a lot of people at our craft shows get disappointed because they come to our craft shows thinking that they're going to make tons and tons of money. But it takes a while. I know when I first started craft shows in 2016, when I first made my business a business in 2016, I'd been crocheting long before that, but my husband told me I give stuff away and people want it. Why don't I just sell it? And if I make money, great. If I don't, I have fun doing it. Like, that's the whole point. I tell that to people and they're like, yeah, but I need to make money. And I completely understand that. There are a lot of women that do craft shows for their business. I get that. They're vendors, they do stuff, and that's their business. And that's totally fine. Um, I just did not feel like I wanted my business to be that kind of a business because it started out as a hobby. It started out as something I love to do, and I still love to do it. But the moment I get to the point where I don't like it anymore because you know, it's stressing me out. I'm not making any money at it. I don't do it to make money. I remind myself that. And my husband reminds me of that occasionally too. We're having a slow craft show day. Like, yeah, it's a little disheartening, but at the same time, I always sell something. And I do it because I like it. I just remember that. And, you know, so, and with as much stuff as I crochet, um, if I never did craft shows, let me just say that our house would be overrun with stuff. Because, yeah, if I never sold anything at a craft show and I just crocheted, um, there would be a problem. We would not be able to live in our house because it would be overtaken by stuff that I had made. I think I just finished row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more row. Let's see if this much yarn will be enough. Using up the last of the skein here. Oh, I thought the wind was blowing. I'm like, oh god, it's not starting already. No, it's just a plane going overhead. We're fine. I had a panicked look on my face because it sounded like the wind during a snowstorm. We're fine. It's fine. I don't hate snowstorms. As long as I don't have to go anywhere, I think they're nice. But if I know I have to go out or I have to go shovel or something the next day to get out, I don't like them. So there's that. Oh, another thing I like to do. We just fenced our backyard last year. So now that the dogs have a fenced yard to play in, I like to go out on the deck. We don't have a huge deck, but we have a little one. I like to go out on the deck in one of those foldable chairs and bring my crochet with me and watch the dogs run around and stuff. And yeah, that's relaxing to me on a nice day. Not too hot, not too cold. Just good temperature for me. Um, Go out there, watch them play, and do some crochet. I find that really relaxing. Getting some sun, some air. Um, that's also, I realized sun is a huge thing around here anyway. A lot of people around here get seasonal affective disorder because of the sun. It's a lot cloudier come wintertime in North Dakota. And it's not, we don't have a whole lot of blue skies from, you know, December to February, March sometimes. But for at least a good 2 to 3 months, we don't have a lot of sun. We have a lot of cloudy days, and a lot of people get seasonal depression because of that. And so vitamin D is a good thing to take if you get that. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be a doctor by any means. This is just my personal experience, what works for me, what has helped me in the past during certain times of the season. And if you get a little down or whatever, and it's probably, it could be because you have a vitamin D deficiency because there's not as much sun. So try to take a vitamin D. It worked for me. B12 is another one that works for me. That's not really a ticket to relax, but it helps. I'm big on stress relief, relaxation, anything that does not include being stressed or having anxiety. We can have another chat about stress relief. I mean, a lot of relaxation stuff is what I use for stress relief, so I just kind of blend it all in to one. Alright, I'm on my last row here. Just cruising along here. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to have enough yarn. Maybe. It's going to be tight. Now I'm just thinking about a fireplace and a blanket and some hot tea, curled up crocheting my granny squares. Look what I've done. I'm going to just be doing that all night now and not get anything else done. Yep, that's all I'm going to do. Not going to do the dishes, not going to do the laundry. Oh, I need to. But I'm not going to probably. Well, I need to do some laundry, but I really just want to sit on the couch and cuddle in a warm blanket and crochet. Oh, we might have enough. Just about to the last corner here. I hope so. I hope we have enough. Oh, it's gonna be tight. This is how much yarn I got left. And I got this much to go. So we'll see. My dogs are taking a nap, which is nice. Actually, that's another thing. I like to take naps. I'm a big nap person. Oh, we're gonna have enough. We're totally gonna have enough. This is so exciting. Oh, I'm so excited. Now watch it. One more cluster to go. And I have enough yarn. Barely, but I have enough. I'm really happy about that. So that means one skein of I Love This Yarn can make 7 6-row granny squares using a 5.5 hook. And it says that each one is 252 yards or 142 grams. Or ounces, 5 ounces. Or if you do meters, 230 meters. That's very exciting. Well, I probably have more yarn left over than I need. I'll have to figure out something else to do with it. I made my mom a corner-to-corner blanket out of this stuff, and that looks so amazing. I probably will do another one of those and sell it. Because I love how the colors look going corner to corner. So, stuff the yarn. Weave in the ends here. Glasses keep falling down off my face. So, story behind me and glasses. I hate wearing glasses, okay? Hate it. I prefer contacts over glasses. However, last year, my last pair of contacts, one of them tore. Well, needless to say, I would have had to go in for another exam, and at the time I did not have the money to spend $120 to walk in and get an eye exam, not to mention $300 for contacts. So, we just took out our old glasses, which are probably about 4 or 5 years old. Recommend to not do that. It's hard on your eyes. Just personal experience. I'm not a doctor. So I took out the glasses that I had 4 years ago, decided to start wearing them, and I'm just too lazy, I guess, to make an appointment. My work schedule, my previous job did not really allow me to make, well, I mean, they allowed me to have doctor's appointments, but every time that I had scheduled one, something would come up and I'd have to cancel. So I'm just waiting until, now that I have afternoons off with my current job, or most of the afternoon off, I can schedule one and I can get back to contacts. And then once I wear contacts, then I can put my hair down and I don't have to have this bun going on. But I don't like, my hair gets caught on my glasses with the little screws in the corners here. I don't like that. So, and when I'm crocheting, my hair is constantly in my face and I don't like that either. So at some point though, I will look different because I will go to the eye doctor and no longer have to wear glasses all the time. So I'm looking forward to that. And I won't constantly have to push them up on my nose. I have a super narrow bridge nose, so needless to say, glasses are very hard to fit my face. I'm just weird. So there's that. But anyway, guys, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 granny squares done today. So far. I will probably continue to work on them later. but I will probably do some laundry now and other stuff. But thanks for joining me today for some crochet and relaxation. And we'll see you in the next video, part 2. Okay, bye!